Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Imagine having no official government title, yet wielding enough influence to broker Middle East peace deals. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Jared Kushner. We'll explore how a real estate heir became one of the most influential figures in American politics, his unprecedented diplomatic achievements, and the controversies surrounding his business dealings.
You know, what's really interesting about Kushner is how he's managed to maintain his influence even after leaving his official White House role.
Right? And he's currently involved in one of the biggest deals in gaming history. But before we get there, let's start with his background.
Well, Kushner's story really begins with a family crisis. In 2005, his father Charles was convicted of tax evasion and witness tampering.
At just 24 years old, he had to step up and run the family business, right?
Exactly. And he took on some incredibly risky projects, like the 666 Fifth Avenue acquisition, which nearly bankrupted the company during the financial crisis.
But he didn't just stick to real estate, did he?
No, at 25, he bought the New York Observer for about $10 million. Despite initial skepticism, he successfully transformed it from print to digital.
That's fascinating. How successful was that transformation?
He increased monthly readership from 1 million to 6 million visitors. Pretty impressive for someone with no prior media experience.
Let's fast forward to his role in Trump's administration. How did he end up becoming such a key player?
He actually played a crucial role in Trump's 2016 campaign, overseeing digital strategy, data analytics, and online fundraising.
And then he became a senior advisor in the White House, right?
Yes, from 2017 to 2021. But what's really interesting is his focus on Middle East policy, particularly the Abraham Accords.
Can you explain what the Abraham Accords were?
They were agreements normalizing relations between Israel and several Arab nations, UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan. It was the first Middle East peace deal in 26 years.
That's quite an achievement for someone with no diplomatic experience.
And here's where it gets interesting. He's recently re-emerged as a key player in new Middle East peace negotiations.
But he doesn't have an official role in the current administration, right?
That's correct. He's working alongside Special Envoy Steve Witkoff as an informal advisor, helping to broker a peace deal between Israel and Hamas.
And what exactly does this peace deal involve?
According to recent reports, it's a 20-point plan that includes the release of hostages and a pause in military operations.
But there's controversy surrounding his business dealings, isn't there?
Yes, particularly regarding his private equity firm, Affinity Partners, which received a $2 billion investment from Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund.
And this investment came just 6 months after he left the White House, right?
Exactly. What's particularly concerning is that it was approved despite the fund's own investment committee advising against it.
Why did they advise against it?
They cited his lack of private equity experience and called the investment unsatisfactory in all respects.
That's pretty strong language from investment professionals.
And now he's involved in a $55 billion takeover of Electronic Arts, which is raising national security concerns.
Tell us more about these concerns.
Democratic senators are worried about Saudi influence and access to user data from millions of gamers worldwide.
It's interesting how his business interests seem to overlap with his diplomatic work.
Yes, and that's exactly what critics are concerned about. Senate Finance Committee Chair Ron Wyden is currently investigating Affinity Partners.
What are they looking into specifically?
They're examining whether it's a way for foreign governments to funnel money to Trump officials without proper disclosure.
Have they found anything concerning?
According to Wyden's investigation, Affinity has collected up to $157 million in fees from foreign clients, including $87 million from Saudi Arabia.
How does the White House respond to these concerns?
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called such questions despicable, saying Kushner is donating his time to secure world peace.
But his supporters would argue he's been effective in his diplomatic efforts, right?
Yes, former Ambassador Robert O'Brien praised his work on the Abraham Accords, calling him their Swiss Army knife diplomat.
What made him effective in that role?
O'Brien said he would fly anywhere and talk with anyone, showing little concern for personal security or getting credit.
That's quite different from the typical diplomatic approach.
And that's what his supporters argue makes him effective, his willingness to break from traditional diplomatic protocols.
But his critics see it differently, don't they?
Yes, former Obama advisor Ben Rhodes called it a level of corruption that we've just never seen.
What specifically concerns Rhodes?
He believes Kushner's Middle East work was calculated to secure future business deals with Gulf states.
And now he's become quite successful in business, hasn't he?
Yes, Forbes recently estimated his net worth at over $1 billion, joining his brother Josh and father-in-law Donald Trump in the billionaire ranks.
That's quite a journey from taking over his father's troubled real estate business.
And it raises important questions about the relationship between political influence and business success.
Looking ahead, what role might he play in future Middle East diplomacy?
According to White House officials, he's expected to continue playing a very active role in the next phases of peace negotiations.
Even without an official position?
Yes, and that's what makes his case so unprecedented. This blend of informal diplomacy and private business interests.
Do you think this could set a precedent for future administrations?
It's certainly raising questions about the need for stronger ethics reforms in government.
What kind of reforms are being discussed?
There are calls for stricter rules about post-government business dealings, especially with foreign governments.
But would such reforms affect informal advisors like Kushner?
That's part of the challenge, how to regulate influence when it operates outside official channels.
It seems like we're in uncharted territory here.
Absolutely. Kushner's case might be rewriting the rules of how political influence and business interests intersect.
As we wrap up, what's the key takeaway about Kushner's role in American politics?
He's shown that traditional credentials aren't always necessary for diplomatic success, but his approach raises serious ethical questions.
And those questions will likely continue as he maintains his unique position of influence.
Exactly. Whether you see him as an innovative dealmaker or a symbol of corruption, his impact on American politics is undeniable.
Thank you for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Sometimes the most powerful players aren't the ones with official titles.